How's it going? Welcome back to the Invest in Wealth channel. Today's video, we're going to be doing a portfolio update here. We're going to take a look at how my accounts did in the last week. We're going to see what I bought, what I sold, and how much dividends I received in the past week. We had some pretty big dividends hitting our account, so that's helped us out quite a bit. And I'm going to share with you how I'm going to reinvest those in the markets. So first off, let's take a look how my first home savings account did in the last week. In the last week, we are down 1% or $51 in the first home savings account. These are my positions here. Bank of Nova Scotia. All the Canadian banks are making lower lows, so they are all at 52-week lows. So I think there is some great value. I wouldn't mind picking up some more Canadian banks. But we have Bank of Nova Scotia, we are down 4%. CNR, this has been on a dip lately too. We are down 6.17%. And then we have the other railway here, CP, small position, but we are down close to 4%. And then VFV, our S&P 500 index, we are about to break even or up roughly 0.3%. So let's take a look at the tax-free savings. In the last week, we are actually up 1% or $432. These are my positions here. Our REIT dropped quite a bit the last week. Down almost 6%. But I still don't mind being in this position here. I'm not too concerned. In this high interest rate environment, pretty much all REITs are having a very tough go, but Allied Properties here paying out a 10% yield. So I'll just hold this stock till the interest rates hopefully start to go down in the next 6 months or so, and should see some nice gains on this position. Then we have Enbridge. We are down almost 10%. Pembina Pipeline, we are up 5.13%. TXF, we are up 10.75%. And then VFV, the S&P 500 index, we are down 3%. So now let's take a look into my RRSP. Last week we are up 2% or $181. We have Enbridge, little small position here of HYLD. Then we have TXF, which we are up 5.23%. And then let's take a look at my biggest account, which is the non-registered. So in the last week, we are down 1% or about $1,200 here. And these are my positions. Not too much green, but there is some fantastic buying opportunities. Like I was saying, the Canadian banks are pretty much all hitting 52-week lows. TD is not, but Royal Bank and Bank of Nova Scotia are. So let's move along to the US side. So in the last week, we are up 1% or $40. These are my positions here. We have shares of Apple, Google, Microsoft, and then this income ETF here. So last week, it wasn't terrible, but we are pretty much almost break even, but mainly due to the fact that I've received a ton of dividend income, which let's take a look at here. Taking a look at the activity screen here. So at the start of the week, I did a $500 deposit to my non-registered account. And I went ahead and bought 2 shares of VFV, 10 shares of that REIT, Allied Properties, and 2 shares of Bell. So all 3 of these stocks were a great buy, so I couldn't really pass up on the opportunity. I haven't really added much to my Bell position recently, and it has actually dropped a little bit below my average price. So I thought $52.30 was a absolute steal to own a company like Bell. And then in my RRSP, I don't make too many trades in this account, but I did sell 20 shares of HYLD, and I just put that money towards 5 shares of Enbridge. So moving along to the dividends that I received on September 29th. Starting off with, in my first home savings account, we have a dividend from CNR of $8.69. Then we have one from Great West Life in my non-registered account of $78. We have another one from CNR, $11.06. And then we have the TXF dividend, quite a large one, $281.18. Another one from TXF in the RRSP of $166.10. And then a big one as well from PPL in my tax-free account of $200.25. And the largest of them all in my tax-free account from TXF, $281.56. So that is awesome. All these stocks are quarterly dividend paying stocks, so these months are definitely where I have my highest income from dividends. So I love to see that. That's over $1,000 just right here in dividends that I can reinvest. So I kind of drew up my plan here for next week to reinvest those dividends here. So my thoughts were buy 4 shares of Allied Properties in the tax-free account. Then I have a market buy of CNR in my RRSP. We have a fractional buy from that first home savings account, just of $8 there. And then I'm going to buy 4 shares of VFV in the tax-free account. Just kind of trying to get that exposure from the US markets there. And then we have 2 shares of Allied Properties in my non-registered account. And then, like I was saying, the Canadian banks are a great buy. So I'm going to be picking up 3 shares of Royal Bank. So that's kind of my plans for the dividends I've got. But this could change. But as of now, I think that's a pretty good way to reinvest these dividends here. For those of you who are new here, kind of my goals for my portfolio is long-term growth as well as dividend income. Recently, I've just been kind of shifting more from the dividend side actually into the growth side, specifically US growth. So I'm really trying to build up my positions in ETFs like VFV, just because this is a great way to get that growth exposure from the US markets. Just fantastic for growth. They pay a small yield as well of about 1.3, but companies like CNR as well, I have been buying up recently just because these are great growth stocks as well to hold for the long term. Plus they do pay a little bit of a yield, but I'm trying to stray away. I used to own like a bunch of covered call ETFs that do have the high yields, but you just don't really see that growth that you'd get with just holding a company like the CNR or the ATD. So that's kind of my goal for this portfolio. I do still love dividend stocks. I will continue to buy those, but only if I do see some great value in the company. One kind of example here is Bell. So this is a very mature company here in Canada. There won't be much growth with this stock here, but I do like their business, and they are paying a huge 7.7% yield, and this stock is just so on sale. So I wouldn't mind picking up even some more shares of Bell, just because it's so super cheap right now. I'm sure most of you guys own the TELUS company, so me buying Bell is kind of how most investors are buying TELUS right now. They pay a huge dividend, as well as this is a great valued company. So yeah, just something to keep in mind, kind of my goals with this portfolio. I'm going to be slowly starting to shift from the maturing companies in Canada into the growth companies in the States there. In times like this, when the markets are dropping, it's so important to focus on your goals with your portfolio and your investing time frame. Don't get caught up in all these big yo-yo dips and highs and lows, and just have a plan and stick to it. Constantly reinvest into your portfolio. It's so important to just not get scared when your portfolio is dropping. I know it's tough, but as long as you just keep investing regularly, dollar cost average into your positions, you'll be set for a very wealthy future. So it's something to just keep in mind. I know it's tough, but that is the market. You just got to kind of stick it out. There will be dips, there will be highs. That's just kind of how the market goes, and you have to kind of just keep your cool no matter what's happening. Just stick to your plan and you'll be set. That just about wraps up the week here. September was not a great month. In the first home savings account, we were down 6% in the last month. In the tax-free, we were down 5%. In the non-registered, we were down 6%. And in the RRSP, we were down 5%. So not a great month at all, but really just looking forward to October. Who knows what's going to happen next month. Usually October is a pretty good month, but if you were going to buy, I think now would be a great time to add into your positions, as the market is very low right now. But other than that, I think that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing. I've been gaining lots of subscribers recently, so I do appreciate that. But other than that, have a great day. Thank you. Bye.